All right, welcome back to an episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight, the whole gang's together. We got Adam, we got Alex, and we got Keith and Chris. We're going to talk a little bit about Kliff Kingsbury. Obviously, just let go from the Cardinals a couple days ago. Big name guy, especially around the college ranks and in his high-flying offense. So, we're going to talk about some of the possible landing spots for him, both NFL and college-wise. Before we do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button for us. It means a lot to us. We're growing the channel. We're on the push for 250 right now. If you're already a subscriber, thank you as always. Make sure you hit the like button as well so that our videos become more popular. And as always, hit us in the comments. You know we'll get back with you. So, all right. Obviously, Kliff was at Texas Tech. Big 12 high air raid kind of guy. Wanted Kyler Murray, got the job with the Cardinals, had to have his guy, had the number one overall pick. Kyler Murray, all of this doesn't really look like it worked out for him. They seem to be sticking with Kyler Murray,
but trading off D-Hop.
Yeah, but trading off D-Hop too. So for Kliff, obviously my mind would first say, college ranks. I don't know about y'all. I think a college team.
If he's looking for a head coaching job, the college ranks would be where he would need to go. But if he's going to stay in the NFL, he'd be an OC for sure.
Yeah, currently all 132 teams in college FBS have a head coach. They've done their due diligence and got their guy, mostly for recruiting purposes. I'm imagining if a job opens up, he'll think about it. But at the moment, the thing in college that I thought about that kind of made me at least think of something for him in college is if he wanted to go back and be an OC. Currently, I guess they didn't win the Big Ten, but Ohio State actually has a current OC opening. After, I think his name is Todd Wilson, was the offensive coordinator there, took a job. So, Ohio State, high-flying air raid, Ryan Day's got things going over there. College playoff team.
I say, who's replacing C.J. Stroud?
Yeah, I don't know. Ohio State's got, they got some kid there.
They probably have a 5-star coming in or a 5-star still on the bench. That's ready to play.
Yeah, they have a kid that they're in love with. I'm trying to remember what his name is. He got to play a little bit this year. Yeah, Kyle McCord. So, obviously, probably a big-time 5-star kid for them if it's Ohio State. So, you just think Kliff Kingsbury, such a, offensive-minded guy, would make more sense stepping into Ohio State and kind of taking what he does and putting it on a team where Ryan Day would probably really enjoy having somebody that skilled at offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah. And
let him go to Bama.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think they had a terrible... Because he was there, 4 years in Arizona, 5 years?
Yeah.
I don't think he was a terrible coach in Arizona. I mean,
I don't think he was bad at all.
I mean, they had a couple playoff, they made the postseason, twice under him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't say that...
last year.
I'm going to say, you can't say the guy didn't do well. Maybe expectations or... playoff every year, or making playoffs every year, but still, that's a tough division that they play in.
Their quarterback's always in the Call of Duty slump, so it's always
I was going to say
it's hard to get that going.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to put together a good team when you have so many injuries, and the star QB doesn't show up for practice and doesn't know how to read defenses.
So there's to a certain degree, you can put some on him, maybe for their not being, successful as they need to be. But at the same time, they haven't put the best foot forward for him to be successful either,
Yeah.
I mean, they did right by going to get D-Hop, and I don't know, you can believe the analytics behind it of Kyler Murray being... all of a sudden Call of Duty comes out, a fall off in his game, call it what you want. But, at some point you got to say, the players just weren't executing it. Because it wasn't that the game plan was wrong. Just execution just wasn't there sometimes. The better team won that day or whatever. So, I think he's still in contention for a head coaching job. I don't see why somebody wouldn't want to go out there and hire him. So...
yeah. I think the thing for Kliff was when he came in, he put all of his chips in on Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray hasn't worked out, and so he's taking the blame. He's taking the fall for it essentially. But
so
he had like 2 to get out of that too.
That was 3 years ago. Kyler got drafted. Was this year 3? So who was available? Essentially, who was there then that they thought instead of getting Kyler would have been their guy,
Yeah, I had to think about it. I don't know that I remember that draft that well enough to remember.
Was that 2019?
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing about it is, like, sometimes just for the fact of it, like, some guys just don't make it in the NFL coaching.
Yeah.
Like Chip Kelly, really great coach. He's proven it twice now, both at Oregon and he's getting UCLA in a really good position as well. But the guy just didn't work out for the Eagles with a super talented team, you know?
Yeah, or
Saban.
I would say it was
Saban.
Saban. Yeah,
Saban had those great years at LSU, then he went to Miami, couldn't do it, and then went back to Alabama, and look at him now.
Yeah. So, I mean, just for the matter of the fact of it, I mean, sometimes people just, like, coaching-wise, don't work out in the NFL. So, granted, we're going to then talk about, like, some of the position, or some of the openings that he's got in the NFL. So, first off, obviously, your team, Carolina Panthers, are still in search of a head coach.
They should hire Steve Wilkes.
Okay. That was
They should. I mean, with what he did coming in as an interim coach, with trading off one of your top 2 receivers and your top running back,
Yeah.
and you still had yourself in playoff contention up to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Give the man a job.
So you got the Panthers, you got the Colts, you got the Broncos. Obviously, we know they want Sean Payton or Jim Harbaugh, and then you have
Captain Pants is going there.
then you have the Texans now. So, any of those kind of make an eye for y'all? For
I
making
think the Colts would give them the best opportunity. You got a deep, good running back in Jonathan Taylor. You have some decent receivers with Michael Pittman being your receiver number 1 out there.
Being Michael Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's decent.
No, but he's the only receiver that they
Yeah, but with him being wide receiver, I think there's some options there. And I guess you got a veteran quarterback. Well, maybe if Matt Ryan's healthy or not benched by week 3.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of talks about the quarterbacks there too. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's name are really coming up for a switch to the Colts, so or Derek Carr as well. So many of those names coming up for a switch to the Colts. So if you're Kliff and you do get the Colts position and they get you a quarterback, you got to feel pretty good about your team.
Yeah. So I think the Colts would give them the best opportunity, and you're going into a division that's not too terribly hard to win either. In was that AFC South?
Yeah, the AFC South.
Between you, the Titans,
the Jags, and the Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking at the bottom team in Houston, dead last. Jacksonville's on the rise, but it's still a hit or miss on what week to week what you got there.
It's amazing what an actual coach can do for that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Colts make the most sense if to go as a head coach.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Texas ties make the most sense for me. So going to the Houston Texans, who's also
I think it's a younger team too.
It's a younger team. Davis Mills is currently the quarterback there, but I got a feeling the Houston Texans will probably use the second pick to take Bryce Young this year. So, another chance for him to kind of restart with a younger quarterback. Hopefully, keep this one.
Anderson drops to him.
Well, I still think they probably end up taking Bryce Young, to be honest with you. But I think for me, for the Texas ties make a little bit more sense to him, and it's also a team that's probably willing to take a risk. I think the Colts are probably looking across this whole board and trying to find somebody that's a proven winner that you can go get as a coach, because your team is in a position to win if you can just get a damn quarterback. So,
I mean, call me crazy, but I think the Colts actually would extend an offer to Saturday to stay on.
I mean, I'd call you crazy, but
he came in and won some games.
Yeah, I've seen crazier things.
With having absolutely zero coaching experience, but
yeah, I'd call you crazy, but like I said, I've seen crazier things. So, you're particularly quiet on this. You got any opinion?
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be weird. It's hard to hire a head coach that just failed at being a head coach.
That's why I think it's gonna be an OC.
I think it'll be an OC. I think it'd be interesting if Pittsburgh had fired Matt Canada. If they wouldn't be calling Kliff to try to go be that.
That'd be a pretty dream scenario.
What about Matt Patricia? What if he gets kicked out of New England?
Honestly,
That's honestly a really good possibility when you have your first round draft pick quarterback screaming at the OC.
Well, I say
there's clearly some divided house.
There's some division there.
There's a division in the house going through there, and we've all seen it before that when Bill Belichick likes his quarterback or has a quarterback in mind, he's going to fight for the guy. He did the same thing with Jimmy G. That's the reason Robert Kraft kicked Jimmy G out of town.
Yeah, no.
So if he's on Mac Jones' side, it wouldn't be very far-fetched for Belichick to just look at Patricia and say, hey, take a hike. Also, their offense was just horrid all year.
Garbage.
So it would be very well justified of saying, let's
Patricia,
change the OC
yeah.
up. Let's change it up.
You know, the funny thing is, like, Bill O'Brien, how long ago was Bill O'Brien? Was it 2007, 2009 he was with the Patriots? Wasn't he the OC for
He was the
quite a while?
OC. He was the OC there after Weiss,
Yeah.
and then he went to Penn State,
Yeah.
and,
So,
then he got the head coaching job at
the Texans.
Texas. Well, he was the head coach.
Where was it that he was rumored to be a head coach somewhere in college already?
Yeah,
This
his
year.
name's been thrown around a little bit, but he's...
Which one was it? It was like, I can't remember what it was, but the job like opened up, and then like by midnight that night, everybody was saying Bill O'Brien was like going to be the guy.
We were speculating that he was going to go to Nebraska. Until
That's what it was, Nebraska.
Until Matt Rule got it.
Yeah, so, I mean, Bill O'Brien, if that did happen, Matt Patricia did leave, I think Bill O'Brien would make a lot of sense. Go pull him from Alabama. Honestly, Alabama is like trying to push him out the door fan-wise,
Yeah.
but Nick is sticking behind him, so...
Yeah, that would be if that job became
If that happens,
available.
that's
That would
what-
be. I
that's
think
what-
there would be a lot of coaches wanting to.
The New England OC
Yeah.
job?
Yeah.
I feel like there'd be several guys wanting to get in that position just to learn under Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly, so... all right, any other final thoughts on old Kliff Kingsbury? All right, well, hit us in the comments. Let us know where you think Kliff Kingsbury is headed next. And as always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.